Hello, my friends. Welcome to Goof and Giggle Story Time. We're going to read about Splash today. Splash is a sea serpent. Are you ready? One day, a tiny sea serpent was born. She swam to the surface. Splash went her tail. Shh, said Mama. Hush, said Papa, but her tail twitched and splished and splashed. Splash, cried little Sea Serpent, and that became her name. Splash grew bigger. Her tail did too. It made bigger and bigger splashes. Shh, said Mama. Sea serpents are silent. Hush, said Papa. Sea serpents are sneaky. But splashing is fun, said Splash. Not if people hear you and see you, said Papa. You might get caught. Splash tried to be quiet, but every time her tail twitched and splished and splashed. Mama and Papa went to Grampy for help. Grampy was the most silent, sneaky sea serpent in the sea. He was also the oldest and wisest. He knew just what to do. It's time for Splash to have sea serpent swimming lessons, he said. I will teach her myself. Splash followed Grampy into the surface. First I will teach you shadow swimming, said Grampy. Yay, said Splash. Shh, said Grampy. Swim only in the shadows. Pretend you are a shadow. Do shadows splash? No, said Splash. Right, said Grampy. Time to hide. Follow me. Grampy swam ahead. Soon he reached some shadows. The shadows rippled. Grampy rippled too. He looked just like a shadow. Splash tried to ripple. She tried to be like a shadow, but her tail wouldn't let her. It twitched and splished and splashed. Oops, said Splash. Grampy frowned. You'll have to practice your shadow swimming. Next, I will teach you log floating, said Grampy. Swim next to the logs. Pretend you are a log. Do logs splash? No, said Splash. Right, said Grampy. Time to hide. Follow me. Grampy swam over to some logs. He lay on his back. He lay very straight and still. He looked just like a log. Splash lay on her back. She stretched out straight. She tried to be still. She tried to be a log, but her tail wouldn't let her. It twitched and splished and splashed. Oops, said Splash. Grampy groaned. You'll have to practice your log floating. This is the last lesson, said Grampy. It's called seaweed sneaking. Dive down to the seaweed. Pretend you are a piece of seaweed. Does seaweed splash? No, said Splash. Right, said Grampy. Time to hide. Follow me. He swam over to some seaweed. He dove deep. Only his tail stuck out of the water. The seaweed swayed and Grampy's tail swayed too. It looked just like a piece of seaweed. Splash dove deep. She stuck her tail out of the water. She tried to be like a piece of seaweed. She tried extra hard, but her tail wouldn't let her. It twitched and splished and splashed. Oops, said Splash. Grampy sighed. Let's try again tomorrow. It's time for supper. Okay, whispered Splash. Splash and Grampy started swimming home. They heard a noise. Chug, chug, chug. The noise grew louder and louder. It's a boat, said Grampy. Quick, time to hide. There were no shadows, or logs, or seaweed in sight. Splash didn't know what to do. Grampy went still. Splash went still too. She didn't try to be a shadow, or a log, or a piece of seaweed. She was just herself, but silent and sneaky, and her tail let her. It didn't twitch, or splish, or splash, not even a little. Chug, chug, chug. At last the boat left. Well done, said Grampy. He was proud. Splash was prouder. I don't need to be a shadow or a log or a seaweed to be still, exclaimed Splash. I can be Splash without any splashes. Yes, you can, said Grampy. To celebrate, Grampy took Splash to a secret cave. There she could be as loud and lively as she wanted. But guess who made the loudest splashes of all? It's Grampy, huh? The end. That was such a cute book about Splash. I think sea serpents are kind of fun to talk about, aren't they? Thank you for joining me on Goof and Giggle Storytime YouTube page and the Goof and Giggle Facebook page. See you next time. Bye.